What's going on, guys, and welcome back to MD Fish Tanks. Now behind me is a brand new racking system that I've made for some really cool shrimp that I've got coming. I'm just sourcing at the moment, but that'll be coming soon. But in the meantime, I want to help the whole racking system along by seeding it, if you like. So each tank has its own sponge filter, as you can see, all brand new, so they've not been, seeded or got no beneficial bacteria on them at all. So what I want to do is help it along, and you can see some of them are a little bit misty there. I've got a load of plants from previous setups that I want to place in each one. I can put them on rocks, and then that will weigh them down so they don't float everywhere. They will bring with them a ton of beneficial bacteria, and also other people said to clean the sponges out from my canister filters, squeeze some of the water into each one, so I'm going to do that as well. Obviously all these things take time, and to build up beneficial bacteria you have to have waste, so clean water and a sponge alone, it's not going to work. When you put fish in, they'll create more waste than was there. Ammonia spike, disaster. So down here on the floor I've got a ton of plants. In this bag is a huge amount of Java moss, and in this bag is a load of Java fern, and I've got some of these really nice pebbles that I can put them all on using super glue. Don't worry, super glue is completely safe. So if any of you have not seen how I've done this before, it's very simple. You take a rock, that one's massive, I'll go with that one. Take a rock like that one, put it down. Next you need your glue. So this one here is Gorilla Glue, it's super glue gel, cyanoacrylate gel. Basically it goes completely inert as soon as it touches the water, it goes hard and it's safe for fish. And what you want to do is just squirt some dollops, blobs, whatever, all over it like that. And then you take a nice big piece of Java fern like this one here from another setup, and you just plonk it onto that gel just like that for about 10 seconds or so. I'm holding it down, being careful not to get any on my skin obviously. Now the actual moisture of the plant will help it stick as well to that rock, and then you can lift it up. Look at that, you're stuck. You put it in the water. Now the great thing is obviously that this plant has been in another setup, so as I've said before, it's covered in beneficial bacteria already, so that's going to really help boost the tank. I want to put some moss in as well with it, so there's two sort of pieces. And I've also got some really nice Vallisneria nana to go in and say this one. I need to put a bit more soil at the back, but I might also use a bit of plant weights to keep it tied down or weighted down into the soil. Cheating a bit, but it will work with this thin layer then. Ah, yes, awesome. I mean, that's not the prettiest look, so we can cover up that bottom area there in front of it with a nice big rock and loads of moss all over it. Click subscribe. Okay, there we go, two done. I'm just going to leave all that floating stuff in there. It's not hurting, it's all going to help. In this one though, I want to put some of the stem plants I've got in my Asian aquarium. And here it is. So you can see, look, it's massively overgrown. Loads of this can be cut off. This is all pearlweed. It's supposed to be an advanced category plant, but I find it incredibly easy just to grow. Look, I mean, I have got a little CO2 cylinder on here, but like George said, I've got like half a bubble every 3 seconds or something, so it's not really doing anything at all, but I think it looks quite cool at the top there. Anyway, I can take big trimmings out of this pearlweed, and I can use those plant weights to grip the bottom again, and I can just put them into the substrate. What will happen then is the shoots will actually find their way, or the roots, sorry, they'll find their way into the substrate, and it will grow in there. And this tank does really need a big tidy up, but I hate throwing plants away, so that's why I haven't done it. So now it's a good way of taking a good trim out. Like, I can come right down to this bottom section here and just keep all of that top lot that I'm trimming off, put it in the new tank. So from that one trimming, I managed to just get this whole little clump here. Well, actually there's more, but this is the best of them. Some of them are a bit too stumpy. That's all right. So yeah, we've got this here like that. And all we've got to do is put a little bit of filter floss around the bottom just to protect the stems, and then we can wrap our weight around that little area there. Look at that. Hang on. Oh, I'm back. There we go. So look, little weight goes on. That's how they do it in the shops as well. So, and there we go. Perfect. Straight in. Wow, that pearlweed is so vibrant, isn't it? It looks so good. Going to switch it up a little bit now. So I've just trimmed off some of the rotala. You can see here it's got a slight sort of pinky hue to it. The closer this type of rotala, rotundifolia, the closer it gets to the light source, the more sort of pinky it goes. And you can see here, look, I've trimmed off some already. So that's going to go in one of them with a mixture of some of the pearlweed as well, I think. And then we've also got the limnophila here, which is really, really nice. Again, vibrant, more sort of finer textures. And then if I spin around to the other side, we've got more of the pearlweed right in the center, but then we've also got the green rotala. So that might be good to mix with the rotundifolia, just to give that sort of variation of colors. We've got some really, really nice Hydroculture Japan in the middle here as well. That would look really good. Again, that can be just grown in gaps, and it grows in the water column rather than needing to be planted. Okay, this is really, really cool. So you see that Blixter japonica right there in the middle. So I was looking at it because it's now exposed. You can see it because I've trimmed everything back. And I was like, oh, I forgot that was there. So it's just going to get lost again, so I might as well take it out. Now I've put my hand in, watch this. It's loose now because I've just taken it out, but the roots are right in. Look, who would have thought that was so beautiful? Look at it, I love it. And there's actually a few plants growing off, look, see? So you can split that, put them in a couple of the tanks. Oh, that stuff looks so good. And now that it'll have more light exposed to it, it'll actually go more green as well, which is great. Oh, such a good find. I forgot that was there. I mean, there's a massive gap there now, so I'm gonna have to like plant something else there, but that's not a problem. Haha, so I've also just found on the top over here, this plant here. Completely forgot about it. I trimmed it off, you know, one of these or one of these, I can't even remember. Anyway, it came off and floated up here and I thought, I'll replant that later on. Anyway, I never did replant it and it's just been sat here. Now, it's gone very curled, look. That's like curling upward. That's the bottom and that's the top. So it's a U, so it's not gonna plant very well. Lots of roots, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to get a little weight on the end of it and then just try and push it into the soil, and then it will straighten itself up, you know, as time goes by. Oh, there we go, guys. This is really coming along now, isn't it? Now, remember, this isn't the scaped tanks. They won't stay like this, but it's a really good start just to get things moving along and to get each and every tank ready for our shrimp, which I'm trying to source, as I've said before. Looking like I'm going to be able to get some soon, though, which is really, really good news. Oh, you know what? I'm really loving the little bit of rotala that you got here. That it just gives it a little hint of a different colour. I like that. And then you've got that massively vibrant alternantha in the middle there. That looks really good. Love it. Love it. And as you walk in the room, look, this is what you get. So you just back out, back out, back out. Oh, it'd help if I shut the door, wouldn't it? Okay, excuse the mess on the floor. Okay, as we go in. Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? I mean, that's with the lights off. Hang on, does it look better with the lights on? Maybe, I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, that looks good, doesn't it? So we're gonna have loads of different shrimp to look at. Oh, I can't wait to get them now, get them in. So it's the next day of coming and the tanks are even more clear now, but there's a couple more things we can do to get them cycling even faster. First of all, back at the house, I've got an absolute ton of ram's horn snails in one of my aquariums. Well, my only aquarium that I've actually still got in the house. So we can bring those along, put them in a tank, and their waste will help cycle the tanks. And the second thing I've got is these down here. So these are the, better leaves they're supposed to be. I don't know what they are, like Indian almond leaves? Oh, catappa leaves. Yeah, these are catappa leaves, and these are apparently really good for, you know, shrimp. They can graze on them and just general water quality. So we need to ball them up though, that's the only thing. I can't do that here, so back to the house. Okay, so we're back home. Now here's the leaves. I only want to actually get 6 of them out. I can't do this one-handed though, but yeah, there we go. They are pretty big, to be fair. So yeah, I only want to get 6 because I just want to sort of boil them up as I go rather than doing a whole batch and then having them sit around doing nothing. I think it's just the best way to do it. So get some water boiling and put them in a pot, take them back. And then I'm going to be getting the snails from this aquarium here. So this is my home aquarium. Now there's quite a lot of snails in here. Now this is because of the fact that I have been heavily feeding the tank. Look at the state of it. Look, look. They're all just shells. It needs vacuuming out. I'm leaving it like this deliberately. You see at the back there's 2 Amazon, well actually there's about 5 or 6 Amazon saws that are looping over the top. They are coming out soon, that's why I'm not touching it at the moment. And there's sunshine right next to. Now this is the reason why I've been feeding heavy, because been dewormed but looking very skinny and very sort of not good. But fins are repairing and some weight is going back on, so hopefully, you know, that's mission accomplished, but it's not looking good. She's from a batch that I got that all of them have passed away apart from her. She's the final one, but George was from a different batch and he's always done very well. Still small compared to the other discus, but the health of this whole tank is insane. I've got some really nice rummies. I'm redoing the whole thing again soon as well. And many of you guys always ask me, how do you control your snail population? Well, I'm not setting a good example here, but the reason for this, all these snail shells and, you know, the abundance of ramshorn snails is because I'm deliberately overfeeding the tank, have been for a good few weeks trying to get this little one to get some weight on. Hopefully we can get it to recover. Now, if you overfeed, there's more waste food and poop for snails because the fish are eating even more as well. Fish just will keep eating if there's food there for them. So if you want to control your snail population, cut down on your feeding. Without the excess food, there's nothing for the snails to eat, so their population controls itself. Oh yes, yes, those leaves are looking sick. Love that. Right, so now for the ramshorn snails. There we go, we've got them all in there. Let's just get them in sort of equally. Kind of equally. It's a handful, there we go. I'll just grab a handful and then we can stick some in this tank. Be free. There we go. So they'll just enjoy that area. They'll make waste. I won't be feeding the tanks. I'll only be able to pick up food from the leaf and from any bits of plants breaking down, that sort of thing. So that's good. We're not going to get a ton of sort of just tanks full of snails. And some for you, and some for you, and you, and finally for you. Now, obviously, there's one final thing we're missing from every single one of these tanks. Some of these red root floaters that you can see here in the Neon Tetra aquarium, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, that's why. And what I mean is, you know, sometimes floating plants can just die off. So if I just take some of these out and put a little bit in each one of those tanks, I'm covering my sort of bets then, or hedging my bets, I suppose is the expression. So that is the racking system complete. I think it looks absolutely awesome. It's going to be ready for shrimp in no time at all. So make sure you click the like, subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one.